Hi folks, welcome back to another video on qebro. Today also I'm back with another video. So last week we discussed about the map here. So yeah, I kept it same. So and at the end of the video I mentioned about, so this week we can discuss about the Agile ceremonies and the other information related to the Agile. So yeah, let's start with that. So Agile ceremonies again. Agile ceremonies are all the Agile meetings we will have in our Agile workflow. So last week I introduced you the PI planning. So the program increment or the program increment planning. So at the PI planning, all the teams will gather and all the other stakeholders of the product as well. And then the teams will work on picking items from the ART backlog to their team backlogs. And also we can discuss about the risks and also about the dependencies between teams. And based on those, we can streamline our plans and we can roughly put our work into the sprints we have. Let's say we have 6 sprints for one PA. So then the PI planning we can end with giving a confidence vote. A confidence vote like all the team members will give a value out of 5. Let's say how confident I am about our team backlog and how about the work we are going to do. Let's say my vote is 4. I'm confident 4 out of 5 about our current work, current backlog. So likewise, all the members, all the team members, agile team members will give their confidence vote and we can take the full vote. And if it is less value, let's say less than 3, then we need to redo the PI planning because the confidence is not high because something is not correct. So in that case, we need to redo the PI planning. If the confidence vote is high, like 4, 5, then we are good with that. So then we can proceed with the current plan. And then, as I mentioned again, we have like let's say 6 sprints for each PI. So the sprint is the iteration. Let's say the 2-week iterations. We have 2-week sprints. So at the beginning of the sprint, we will have another meeting called the sprint plan. So this is to rethink about our plan we did at the PI plan time, because since we are agile, obviously the plans can change and new features might come based on the new priorities. They might be business owners, the product owners will reshuffle things and they will ask some items to take if possible as they are high priority. So then based on those needs and all our needs and also based on other dependencies and the risks, we can again do some planning called the sprint planning to plan for our next sprint. So once the sprint planning is also done, we can start working on the sprint. Then also we can have meetings with the product owners, the business analysts. Most of the time this need to be actually happen previously, at least before the sprint planning, to discuss about all the clarifications we need on these stories, because the story will have the business needs and if there is anything you need to clarify, those things need to be done before the planning. And also all the meetings you need to have with the architects and all these things need to be done and everything should be ready and all the stories need to be in development stage or in development status. So once the sprint is started, developers can work on these tickets. So then, yeah, for that also we can have meetings. Maybe you can have any name for these meetings with the business team. So then, yeah, so that is another meeting we will have. Once the sprint starts, we will have a daily meeting for the agile team members. Sometimes the scrum master will join, but product owners or the business owners, system architect, RTE, those people will not join. Scrum master will join to facilitate or to help with the process and to help organize these things. So sometimes Scrum master can join, or else only the agile team. For each team, as I mentioned, like let's say we have 5 teams in our Agile Release Train. So each team will have their own meeting, a daily meeting. The daily meeting is to like discuss, or every person in the Agile team will get their chance to share their things. So normally we will tell like what we did up to now. So from the last meeting. So let's say each day we have the meeting at 12 o'clock. So from yesterday 12 o'clock to today 12 o'clock, what I did. So what I did means like related to the project, not to personal things. So what you did related to the project. And then what are your next plans? So what are you planning to do next from today 12 to tomorrow 12? And then if you have any blockers or any issues to share with the team, so then if you have any blockers and those things, Scrum Masters can also help. So these things you can resolve. So this is like to give an update about our status, so the status of our tickets. And if we have any issue, so if we need some help to unblock us. So that's why we will have this Scrum meetings. Scrum meetings, the team meeting, the daily stand-up meeting. Like it's called the stand-up meeting because uh, it should not take long, like 15 minutes maximum, so people can stand up and join the meeting without any issue. And we need to quick it finishly, just to share our update and to get some help if we need to, and also to give the update on about the status of our current work. So that is the next agile ceremony we have, or the Scrum meeting. And then, as I mentioned, like at the end of the sprint, we will release something. Before that, we can do a show and tell or a demo. For that also you can have any name, maybe show and tell or the sprint demo, something like that. So for the sprint demo, all Agile Release Train members will join, business owners, product management, product owners, everyone. So because they are like for us, we will see like they are the ones who should accept these stories, what we have done, whether it's correct or not. So at the demo time, we can show what we did in this sprint to product owners and the product management teams, and then they will accept it, or they will say, yeah, if we need to do any other changes, so they will give their feedback. So that's why I mentioned, not like the waterfall. At regular intervals, we can get the feedback and we can do the changes. So if there are anything to change, okay, we can add that to our next sprint and we can work on that. So that's why we have the sprint planning as well, based on these changes. Oh, everything is good, okay, we can put it into ready to release, and with the next release at the end of the sprint, the Agile Release Train, all the teams will release their current finished work from the Agile Release Train to the customers on demand. So that is another ceremony. We have the demo meeting, and also we can have other meetings like a whole team meeting. You can have any name like a sprint meeting to share about any updates about the plans or about the risks, or to discuss about those things. For that also you can have another meeting, or whole agile release train meeting. So, and other than that, again, for the so currently we are working on, let's say, the first sprint. We need to think about the sprint 2 tickets as well, to get those things ready to ready for development stage. So due to that, in sprint 1 we can have again meetings with business owners to clarify all the things and to get the tickets ready before we do the sprint planning. So that is another meeting we can have. So I now discuss about like 5-6 meetings. So those are the agile ceremonies we have. And again, after going all these sprints, yeah, at the end again we will have the PI planning for the next PI as well. So yes, so those are the meetings we will have. So some meetings, everyone, all the stakeholders of the product will join. Some meetings, only the team will be there. Again, for the whole team meetings, we have the PI planning. Then we will have the whole sprint, like sprint planning. Again, we can do both. First, we will do the team level planning, and then we will present it at a whole team meeting. And then we will have the show and tell meeting, and then we will have this weekly meetings or the sprint meeting to share the updates, and then team level meetings we will have the sprint planning, and we have the daily scrum, and also we will have first, before having the meeting with the business owners, to clarify things again at team level. We can do that first and get all our questions, and then we can present it to the business owners. So those are the meetings at the team level as well. So likewise, we can work on our agile release train. I hope everything was clear. And in this map also you can read all these things. Here also you can see PI planning. Here the system demos, iterations, the PI, inspect and analysis. Likewise, everything is there. Okay, I forgot to mention about another one. So we can have at the end of each sprint, or at the beginning of the next sprint, we can have a sprint retrospective meeting at team level. So the retrospective meeting is like to look back at our last sprint, and see what went wrong, what went well, and what we learned, and what should we do differently in the next sprint, to summarize our learnings and to share this with our team. So we can do that at the beginning of each sprint to look back at the previous sprint. The same thing we can do at the next PI planning meeting as well. Before starting new PI planning, we can do a PI planning retrospective, a whole team level one. So the whole Agile Release Train can look at what went wrong in the previous PI, what went well, what we need to do separately, likewise. So we can do a retrospective as well. Again, team level and whole release train level also, we can do it at both levels. So yeah, I think I didn't miss anything else. All these things you can see from this map as well, and you can click and you can go and read more information as well. So that's why I picked this map, as it's very clear to show with an image. And also, yeah, now you know about the members of Agile Release Train and all these different terminology of Agile, and about the Agile ceremonies as well, and the full flow. I hope everything is clear. Yeah, I know that it was a very quick video because I want to share this information quickly with you. If I did the same thing in the previous last week video, then it could have been a lot for 1 week. So that's why I had to break it into two parts. But now I hope you got all the information necessary for the agile process. Now you can maybe try implementing this in your products as well and get the advantages of agile. So for next week, and also yeah, we will use multiple tools throughout this whole flow. Mainly, like, we will use Jira to create these stories, epics, and all these documentation purposes. You can use Jira. And other than that, for the other documentation, you can use any other documentation application, or mainly like we can use the Confluence as well. Likewise, some other tools we can use. So from next week video, we can maybe look at one of these tools and see how these things will work. And when, if I get a chance, I will try to find, let's say, if a free trial is available for Jira, so we can work on that. I can show it. So with that, I can show you all these stories, enablers, and I can explain what are these things. And we can go deep into those information about the stories. And I hope now everything else, like the members of Agile Release Train and the Agile ceremonies and the flow, is clear. And if you have any issues or any corrections, you can contact me anytime, qebro@gmail.com, or from the comment section down here. So I hope we can stop from here for today, and please like, comment and subscribe, and also share this with your friends. And happy testing, and see you till next week.